Tonight, a man is behind bars accused of a heinous crime in Liberty County. That's where investigators say a man was beaten, tied to a truck, dragged for about a mile, and was later found dead.
This attack happening this weekend near the small community of Rye, Texas, more than an hour northeast of Houston, really on the tail edge of Liberty County.
How many of y'all remember back in the 90s there was that case? Now, we didn't have internet back then, so we don't know none of the particulars. We don't even know if it's really true. We don't know if that even really happened. There was a case back in the 90s, and there was all this fear throughout the sun belt. There was a lot of fear throughout the sun belt that this is what was a big thing that was happening. Races were dragging brothers from truck beds until they're, and you know what happens. You could just imagine being drugged behind a pickup truck for a mile. You could imagine what happens to the body, what the body looks like. But how do we know that this guy wasn't a brother? Well, I'll tell you. We know it's not a brother because they didn't tell us in the first 5 seconds of the story. If this was a brother, especially since the perpetrator was white man, we would have known within the first 5 seconds. That would have been the first thing they told us. The first thing. That would have been the middle, that would have been the end. And this would be a way bigger story. But because this is white on white crime, this is white on white crime, it's not a big deal.
I'm in Liberty County. That's where investigators say a man was beaten, tied to a truck, dragged for about a mile, and was later found dead.
This attack happening this weekend near the small community of Rye, Texas, more than an hour northeast of Houston, really on the tail edge of Liberty County. Our Michael Leparty spoke with a neighbor who knew that victim. Michael, what more are you learning about this investigation?
Dominique, the sheriff's office says that this investigation is still open right now. More charges could be filed, and the man accused in the murder is currently here in jail. In a small community like this, word travels fast, including the news from this weekend.
It's got everybody distraught around here.
White privilege. I tell you guys, there are more poor white people like this than there are black people total. Babies 8 to 80. 8 to 80, blind, dumb, and crazy. There's more white people like this than all black people in the country. Go to Kensington in Philadelphia. Anybody from Philly? Kensington. Go anywhere in Pennsylvania that's not Philadelphia or Pittsburgh. Go to upstate New York, West Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky. I'm going to have to do the gun memorial for Liberty County so we can see if this is something that commonly happens here amongst these poor glacier these poor glacier gliders.
It's got everybody distraught around here. It's got everybody distraught and very upset.
The Liberty County Sheriff's Office says 37-year-old Robert Hoffpower beat a man, then tied a tow rope around his waist and dragged the victim from the back of his own truck for about a mile. Investigators say the suspect then started the truck on fire off CR 2741 near Rye.
It is unusual. It's a situation that got totally out of control.
Captain Ken DeFore says there was a former relationship between the victim and the suspect's mother.
We're getting 2 or 3 different stories from both of them. And we're trying to get to the basic truth. What is the truth?
The victim is 60-year-old Roman Rodriguez, who was remembered by neighbor Chuck Barnes.
Roman Rodriguez. So it was a Latino. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. The only thing Twitter, mainstream media, CNN, MSNBC care, maybe if this happened to a Mexican who illegally crossed into our country. Let's just say this Rodriguez guy had illegally crossed the border, and some yeehaw Dukes of Hazzard types had done this to him. That would have made the mainstream news. But a Latino that's a citizen, probably raised a family in this country, may have been born in this country, pay taxes, salute the flag, pledge allegiance to the flag. No outcry about his brownness. No mainstream news coverage for him. Wow. That's why I tell you, there ain't no black and brown coalition. All you races is different, man. You all got different hands. You ain't acting like black people and Spanish people. If we playing poker, we both got the exact same hand. Get the hell out of here. We ain't...
The victim is 60-year-old Roman Rodriguez, who was remembered by neighbor Chuck Barnes.
He'd do anything in the world for you. He'd give you his last dollar. You need a hand, he'd come do it.
Chuck says he saw the truck being removed from the scene.
It was toast all the way. It's just scrap now. There ain't nothing that's left unburned on it.
Deputies say the suspect was arrested on a murder charge and is currently behind bars on a $1 million bond. Captain DeFore says the victim was not burned in the fire, but deputies don't know yet whether he was dead or alive when he was tied to that truck. They're waiting on the autopsy for more answers. We're live tonight on Liberty. Michael Lopardi, KPRC 2 News.
Thank you, Michael.
All right, to the Liberty County, Texas Gun Memorial. Yeehaw! Place is 12% black. I was shocked by that. 12% black population. Salute to y'all, man. Not a lot of murder down here, though. Most of the people down here are poor whites. So since 2014, we got, I'll even say 10, since the gun memorial sometimes misses some because they don't get, sometimes they you know, it's a tough job they do at the gun memorial, keeping all these records and having pictures and stories for everybody. So including our friend Roman Rodriguez, let's just say there's been 10 murders since 2014. Now this place is a population of 75,000, this county. 75,000, that's not big, that's not a lot. But 75,000 is enough to produce more than 10 murders in 7 years, man. 7-8 years. That's almost a murder a year. I told you. But salute to the black folk down there for not contributing to this. But these poor whites, they don't be killing like that, man. I don't know why these poverty don't affect them the way it affects us. And I really mean that. I don't know why.
Thank you. In Stafford County, a man is behind bars after police say he went into a rage when he couldn't get a Happy Meal at a McDonald's. Deputies say 36-year-old James Springer went inside the McDonald's in Aquia waving a BB gun. Springer is a DoorDash driver, and it's not clear if he was trying to get the Happy Meal for a customer or himself. DoorDash tells Fox 5 they have deactivated Springer. He's been held on a $1,500 bond and facing 4 counts of brandishing charges.
Damn, bro. He went back in there brandishing a BB gun. He lucky he didn't get shot. 2021, I'm surprised one of the people behind the counter didn't whip out. And now you standing there with a BB gun looking stupid. I mean, I don't know what to say, man. It'd be stressful, man. I think that it was the DoorDash. I think it was one of his clients. I don't think it was for him. I think it's for him. He would have waited. The DoorDash, he got money on the line. He trying to pick up that meal and get it to them people so he can get the next fare. It's like being a cab driver. He trying to get the next. He trying to hustle. He was hustling, trying to get his money. And he went to McDonald's and they ain't had a Happy Meal ready. You know this dude ain't want no damn Happy Meal. So you know this was DoorDash. But he went there to pick up these people Happy Meal and it wasn't ready. How hard is it to make a damn Happy Meal? So what else do you do? If you're a DoorDash driver and you go to the restaurant and they don't have the order ready. Well, of course you go to your gun, you get your BB gun and you come in there and wave it at the people behind the counter. Duh, what else you do?
Thank you, Erica. Crime Tracker alerts tonight as well. A high-speed chase at 120 miles per hour ends in a gun being drawn and an off-duty officer put behind bars accused of road rage. This all happened Sunday evening in Rutherford County, starting on I-24 near Murfreesboro. News 2's Valencia Wicker takes us to the scene.
He had only been on the job for a few months when road rage essentially cost him his job. This is the street where investigators say former Officer Ward chased down the victim and threatened him with his handgun.
911, what's the emergency?
I'm on Shiloh and Medical Center. There's a guy with a gun drawn right here in a Holiday Inn. He's pointing at a man. He's screaming at him right now.
Witnesses caught much of the...
See that Karen calling the police? Calling the police, she on the phone calling the police. That's what people of the Sun do all the time. Nobody calls this. I bet the dispatcher was shocked when they heard a white voice, because people of the Sun call the damn police so often. But just look at this, man. Look at this situation 360. Because this video is really about white crime. And I hope you guys appreciate this. Because no one really covers this white crime like we do. I mean, I miss some stories here and there. But you know how many stories I miss on the on the people of the Sun? I miss thousands of stories on them. So yeah, I don't get to every single one of the white stories that y'all want me to get to. But I get to a lot of them. You got to give me my credit. Hit that like button, hit that PayPal, hit that Cash App, hit that Super Chat. Shit, I heard somebody in the chat the other day that said, y'all don't donate to this channel? Like, man, yeah, man. Yeah, man. Come on, man. Light that up. Just look at how these white people act. I mean, it's just different, man. What do y'all see? What's different about this whole scene 360 to y'all?
911, what's the emergency?
I'm on Shiloh and Medical Center. There's a guy with a gun drawn right here in a Holiday Inn. He's pointing at a man. He's screaming at him right now.
Witnesses caught much of the Sunday night exchange on camera. 31-year-old Matthew Ward, a then off-duty officer for Deckard Police. He's seen pulling a gun on a driver. Investigators are calling it an act of road rage.
Hold on, you're within the city limits, okay?
You're not on duty. You can't.
We just hit him with the, you're not on duty. Like, don't you know this is a civilian? He's a civilian right now, man. This white guy in the blue shirt is not scared at all. He's not worried about anything. He ain't worried at all. He's not worried at all. He ain't worried in the least bit that this civilian, because this guy's not a cop, he's off duty, is gonna shoot him. He ain't worried at all. He just shook his head like, no, you're not on duty.
He's seen pulling a gun on a driver. Investigators are calling it an act of road rage.
Hold on until you're within the city limits, okay?
You're not on duty. You can't. Doesn't matter. I am on duty 24/7.
This cop's saying he's on duty.
In the video, you can hear the victim saying,
He's not even from this area.
but according to a Rutherford County police report, the former officer told deputies he was reacting to how fast the victim was driving on I-24.
Everybody's a little bit stressed right now, but like, chill out. That's a little excessive.
And you see that on shows, and it seems like you see it on a show, and that's really extreme. But then when it's here in your hometown, you're like, wow, I really should be looking both ways, in a sense.
This who we can't compete against. This who got us oppressed, man. Holding us back. Oh, man. This who's stealing y'all men's sister. Oh, man. When I see these stories from these little white towns, man, it just make me like, God, it's more of them in this country than it is. Like, these people far outnumber, like, all minorities. Like, they outnumber all minorities. Like, they don't just outnumber blacks, they outnumber all minorities.
That's a little excessive.
And you see that on shows, and it seems like you see it on a show, and that's really extreme. But then when it's here in your hometown, you're like, wow, I really should be looking both ways, in a sense.
Ward has been arrested and charged with aggravated assault. He has since been released. In Rutherford County, Valencia Wicker, News 2.
That's right, Sharice, and you and everybody in the city knows we're experiencing more and more carjackings and more car thefts. And I did talk to one woman who, just to go into the convenience store, had her gun on her in plain view because she wanted to protect her children. And she said that all stems from this latest crime that you just spoke about that was caught on surveillance camera. It all happened in broad daylight Wednesday. A woman walks up to Pump 3 at the East Side Cash and Carry in the 7900 block of Chef Mentor. She tries to take a man's car. He fights her off. She gets back up and goes to a parked car that's running with a young girl and her little brother inside. As she begins to take off, the children jump out to safety, but the car rolls over the little boy's leg. The store clerk is still so shaken up, she didn't sleep last night.
This little white lady tried to carjack a brother, man. And then went and carjacked the sister. That's who's doing all the carjackings. I told you, right? Then the pro-blacks told us, right? It's not just us doing it. This is a crazy story, though, man. Crazy story. These are strong-arm carjackings that this woman tried. She didn't have a weapon. She just tried to bum rush people. Like, and then the fact that she tried to bum rush her brother, who looked like he, you see he got the rims on his ride. You see he got it kind of tinted out. Got his braids. He looked like a brother. We talking about a homie. We not talking about. We talking about the homie. Wow. This is just bizarre.
Horror rolls over the little boy's leg. The store clerk is still so shaken up she didn't sleep last night.
I called NOPD at 1:57. No response didn't come till 5-something. Ambulance never came. MSM called me at 6-something and asked me, do I still need y'all? And I said, wow, are you serious? His leg could be broke.
Sister, you spent all year defunding the police. Okay? They're defunded now. Remember, y'all changed America? Y'all saved America by getting the Democrats back in office. Well, Democratic policies are abound. No bail. Lighter sentences. Hands-off policing. An emphasis on programs over policing. Lionizing and canonizing criminals. So from both sides, sister, you've created this. You've helped to create it. You took credit for all of it. I mean, who remembers a few months ago when sisters was saying that it wasn't Latina women that helped Biden get in office. It was them that helped all the senators and House of Representatives, Democrats get in office, and it was them that helped Biden get Trump out of there. Black women saved the country. Now look at the country now. So yeah, sister, when you call 911 now, you want to wait a little while. Now you got a little white lady running up on y'all trying to carjack y'all. A Karen. A carjacking Karen. This is the America that you guys gave us. According to you. Thank you.
I called NOPD at 1:57. No response didn't come till 5-something. Ambulance never came. MSM called me at 6-something and asked me, do I still need y'all? And I said, wow, are you serious? His leg could be broke.
She does not know how badly injured the little boy's leg is, and NOPD is not releasing his condition.
I held him in my arms for 15 minutes. He was shaking. I'm still shaking. It still got me discoverably.
People who shop here are scared.
The way they take the cars from you with your kids in it, nobody cares anymore.
She locks her car and takes her little girls into the store with her.
So somebody took my truck with my 5-year-old in it. And the car stopped right in front of my great-grandmother's house. So that's how I got my daughter and my truck back.
Police are looking for a gray 2020 Nissan Rogue, plate 329 DVO. The suspect is described as a white female with brunette hair.
Oh, so you guys can give descriptions now. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. How many stories have I done on Houston where, I'm talking about people following people from jewelry stores, following them from the mall, 5 dudes hopping out with assault rifles, killing people, all on camera, ring camera, never get a description. The Houston news station found out how to give a description on this one, though. Wow.
The suspect is described as a white female with brunette hair. The clerk thinks she might be around 30 years old. And Sharice, I have a breaking update. I just got off the phone with the mother of those two children just moments before we went live on the air. The children are 11-year-old and 8-year-old children, and she says her little boy's leg is not broken. It's very, very swollen and purple, but he is walking on it. She said the car rolled over around between, like above the ankle, below the calf and above the ankle. But she said she's just distraught. They have not gotten the car back. She is pregnant and just exhausted and did not want to go on camera, but she's hoping that anybody with any information will call Crime Stoppers at 822-1111 with information. And I am told by the people at this store that for many, many years, this has been an area where people who use drugs and deal drugs do hang out. So they're just wondering if that has anything to do with it, but police are investigating. Reporting live from New Orleans East, Meg Farris, Eyewitness News.
Meg, just watching that video, it is frightening. I'm so happy that little boy's leg is not broken.